This is Special Chronicles, giving respect and a voice to people with special needs.
I shudder thinking how the world can be so cruel. I lend my voice to those who can't. It's time we try, it's time we care, it's time we stand. It starts with a voice.
Welcome to the Special Chronicles Podcast. My name is Daniel Smrokowski. I'm the founder and host of Special Chronicles and a Southern Travel Global Messenger alum with Special Olympics. So excited to be back on the program as we broadcasting episodes this month of June 2024. Our website, specialchronicles.com, for the show notes and the follow Special Chronicles on social media, Apple Podcast, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast. I'm going to try to be brief in this intro because I'm recording this the day after Father's Day. And speaking of, we just are coming off of Father's Day weekend. Perfect time to rebroadcast a special Father's Day conversation with my dad, Adam, who is also the business manager at Special Chronicles, but first and foremost is the dad of myself, founder of Special Chronicles, and have you join us in a special Father's conversation. Well, my dad will talk about raising a son with special needs, early challenges of being a special needs dad, impact of this Special Chronicles platform, changing lives in the Special Olympics movement, and much more. So the following episode has been previously broadcasted.
Hello, this is Adam, and I am Daniel's dad. And you are listening to Special Chronicles Podcast, giving respect and voice to people with special needs.
This is Special Chronicles, giving respect and a voice to people with special needs.
This episode 252 is brought to you by listeners like you. Please help support us at Special Chronicles with your tax-deductible donation today to help us continue our mission of giving respect and voice to people with special needs. Please go to specialchronicles.com/giving. That's specialchronicles.com/giving. We thank you for your generous support of our mission at Special Chronicles. This week on Special Chronicles, we are podcasting live from Park Ridge, Illinois, with the special Father's Day edition, recorded live on location with our special guest. My dad is coming up right now on the Special Chronicles Show podcast on specialchronicles.com.
I shudder thinking how the world can be so cruel. I lend my voice to those who can't. It's time we try, it's time we care, it's time we stand. It starts with a voice.
You're listening to the Special Chronicles Show. This is show with a podcast from disability stories from the insider perspective. We are giving a voice to people with special needs. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome back to the Special Chronicles Show. My name is Daniel, your host and founder of Special Chronicles. Pleasure to be back outside, recorded live on location in Park Ridge for this special Father's Day edition, Father's Day 2017 edition of the show.
Thank you, Daniel, for having me on your show to celebrate this Father's Day. I really appreciate that.
So, long time, and we're sitting outside in a park in a it looks like a town square-ish park in the middle of Park Ridge, and so you were on the show. I don't know when, in one of our early episodes when we were sitting across the kitchen table, and I don't exactly remember what we talked about in that early episode.
I don't either, but
maybe some listener might go back and hear that, and then they can let us know what we talked about. But so for any new listeners, I'm sure some of our listeners may know you, but for any new listeners, introduce yourself.
Yeah, like I said, I'm Daniel's dad, and I'm just really excited to be on the show to talk with my son.
So take us back 28 years ago when I was born, 3 1/3 months premature, and was diagnosed with developmental delays and diagnosed with disabilities 28 years ago. To take us back to those really early days.
Well, that was a challenging time because Daniel was my firstborn child, and he was born extremely premature, and that created a lot of challenges with all the medical issues that he had and developmental issues, and just the whole challenge of being born that early and not knowing exactly what was going to happen. Fortunately, it turned out pretty good. We got through all the challenges, and today Daniel is 28 years old and doing very well, and that's something that I'm very proud of.
Okay, I lost my notes, but talk a little bit about the it's the wind. Talk a little bit about the challenges and joys of raising a son with special needs.
Well, the joys, the main joy, of course, is my son, and then watching him, the challenges are all the things that he had to go through in life to overcome the things that were put upon him, and he handled each one of those things remarkably well. I think throughout his life, I always told him, never give up, never let anything stand in your way, and the world is yours to whatever you want it to be. And that's the way he's viewed life, and that's part of his Special Chronicles mission. And he just keeps trying and accomplishing a lot of things and helping a lot of people with various types of disabilities, and I'm proud of him for that.
So what? Besides the schools or the early whatever you call it schools, the Long Beach, California that I attended, but when we moved here, first went to the Catholic school, and they didn't have as much special ed services there. But then I went to the public school, right? But why were you leading me towards that, even though they didn't have all of this, the special ed services?
Well, it's a...
But now more Catholic schools are becoming more inclusive.
Yeah. Well, I think all along we wanted the proper development for Daniel. We wanted a good education, and the Catholic values were important to us. So that's where we started. And the school tried really well to help him and to be there for all his needs. But Daniel's developmental needs were a little more complex than the Catholic school could handle. So along with the Catholic school and the public school, they jointly put together a program that would be administered at the local public school when he early on in his grade school education. And that proved to be the right path, which then allowed Daniel to get the help so he can develop in the proper way. And he just needed a lot of support and help to do that, because there was a lot of physical and challenges and developmental challenges that, if addressed properly with the right support, can be overcome. But without that, would just slow him down, and we didn't want that for Daniel. We wanted him to have every opportunity possible.
So, with it being Father's Day, we're recording this live in Park Ridge, Illinois, for a week before Father's Day. But our listeners will hear this beginning on Father's Day. share your thoughts on being a special needs dad, and if you knew of anybody else with disabilities before I was born.
Well, I think I always knew that kids were born or developed early in their lives various disabilities or challenges, and but I wasn't intimately involved in it. I didn't understand a lot of the ramifications of everything that needed to be done to support that. I think after you have a child that has some challenges, then you learn. And there's really no rule book or guideline to teach you how to be a parent with somebody with some disabilities. And so you have to kind of learn along the way as you go. And that's exactly what I did.
But now I think today, 28 years later, there's becoming more guidebooks and resources for special needs dads or for special needs parents.
Well, that's true, Daniel, but it's still, I think that every child is his own, has their own challenges if they have any type of disability. Actually, every human being in life has, is their own person. So there really is, even today, there is no rule book, and I'm not sure there should be one. There's maybe more write-ups about how to deal with some of the specific learning disabilities or physical disabilities or what they are. But it's still, every person is his own individual. So I think when I look at Daniel, I think the learning process and figuring out what to do and how to help him had to be very individualized. And you kind of learn as you go along. As we discovered that here's an area where Daniel had some needs, then address those needs. And, for the learning disability. For the physical part, the same thing. Doctors would help us and say, all right, well, these are the obvious things that we're going to deal with, whether it be weak lungs of the heart or challenges walking or stuttering or whatever. So these are some of the things that he obviously has, and these are some of the things we could do to address that.
And some of the some we've talked about on the show in on past episodes is that there's no one disability the same. There's no one LD diagnosis the same. There's no one Down syndrome diagnosis the same.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was saying earlier, is that you have some generalities, but then you got to break it down to that specific individual, whether it's your child at an early age or when they become young adults or even adults at various ages. The needs are very specific, and you learn them as you go along, and you try to listen and be very in tune to what's happening and what the needs are, and be the support arm as well as try to figure out how to deal with the situation as it comes up. It's really a positive thing. It's a good learning experience because not only does Daniel keep learning and become the person that he is today, but I've also learned a lot too. And I think that helps me with understanding people in life in general, whether they have a disability or not. And in reality, every person has their strengths and weaknesses. So in Daniel's case, I don't even view it as him having any type of disability. He just happens to have strengths and weaknesses. And some of them might be different than you or I, but we all have strengths and weaknesses. So we try to optimize our strengths and either learn how to deal with our weaknesses or maybe the weaknesses that we might have, we shouldn't worry about them. We should just go and concentrate on our strengths, and that way we can do some good in the world. And that's exactly what Daniel's doing.
Yeah. So have you connected either 28 years ago when I was born or even growing up, have you connected with other special need dads or or other special needs parents?
Well, definitely. I think that especially through the last 28 years, I've been involved with the special needs and or disabilities community. So you meet a lot of people. You meet people that have disabilities. You meet the families of those people and the friends of those people. And then you meet people in society that don't necessarily have anybody in their family have disabilities, but they may have coworkers, or your experiences might help them in better how to better understand somebody that has a disability, and be more patient and understanding because of that.
Yeah. So that's a perfect, somewhat of a perfect transition. Talking about Special Olympics, and I've only been competing, I think, about competing and speaking about 15 or so years now. But share some of your thoughts about seeing me compete, as well as seeing me speak within the Special Olympics movement.
Well, the Special Olympic movement has actually been very good for Daniel, as well as I see it being extremely good for anybody with any type of disability. I know Daniel, when he was younger, we tried to include him in everything in life, similar as his two sisters, and that included education, that included learning about life, that included sports. And as Daniel tried the different sports, it was challenging for him. Partially because his reactions were always a second or two slower. Well, in most things in life, that didn't matter, like for reading or talking, and but in sports it did, because if somebody throws a ball and you think about it for a second before you try to catch it, well, the balls are going by you. So that would frustrate Daniel. And we tried all the sports, and the coaches all tried to help him, but it was just too hard for Daniel. So then somebody recommended that we try Special Olympics, and so we did. And that opened up a whole new avenue for Daniel, because now he could actually compete in any sport he wanted, because he's competing with other people with disabilities, and they'll group them in groups of people with similar disabilities, because disabilities, there's a whole wide range from, and that's what's interesting about Special Olympics, because people compete in there from individuals who are very physically and challenged and have some physical disabilities that are sometimes difficult to overcome, and Special Olympics finds a way to include them, as well as sometimes people with just slight learning disabilities who function extremely well, and then they put those people together to compete, so everybody can compete on a level that's good for them, as well as will challenge them in that sport. And Special Olympics is one that starts from early age, 8 years old,
or young athletes,
or even younger athletes than that, all the way to, I've seen people in adulthood and even senior people compete. There's no limitation.
Yeah.
And that's a beauty about Special Olympics. And they're a worldwide organization that provide this opportunity for anybody and everybody with special needs all around the world. And that's helped Daniel tremendously, and I've been a great, important part of that community and support Daniel as well as Special Olympics.
Yeah, and even now with unified sports and with playing unified, now the whole Special Olympics movement is for people with or without disabilities. So like the two of us playing on the same team. So it's open the doors to inclusive play.
Yeah, I think Special Olympics does a great job of constantly growing and trying to figure out what the next step is. How can they offer more to more people?
And so speaking of unified sports and playing unified, isn't that something that we talked about for next year in 2018 to maybe possibly to play unified golf?
Yeah, we talked about that. We got to prepare for it because it's it's a sport that you've got to prepare for. Certain sports, the Special Olympics, you can start without knowing anything. Golf is an example where they want you to at least learn the basics, and then you can participate in the sport. And that's what Daniel and I are working on. We've gone out, and he's actually tried to swing the ball and actually does pretty well at it. So
Yep.
that's good.
So now do you think that playing unified is important for our community?
Well, anything that integrates people together is a good thing.
Yeah. So as we move on to the next topic here, and this live broadcast is from Park Ridge, Illinois, as we're sitting on a park bench right in the downtown area for the special live Father's Day, the special live podcast for Father's Day. So on creating Special Chronicles, which was something that it's still around. This pioneering a media platform that I've created for the past 9 years. Can you share some of your thoughts about seeing 9 years ago and seeing me create Special Chronicles as this nonprofit media platform? And
well, I think the best part about Special Chronicles is it's an extension of Daniel's passion is to help more people with special needs. And he helps them in a way that it allows individuals with special needs to be able to tell their story. Just talk about their life. And Daniel interviews them, lets them talk about what's important and not in their life, the challenges they have. And the whole goal of that is for the individuals to get their voices heard and get a little respect from the world
and
understanding about what they're going through. And the neat part about it is once Daniel does the interviews and lets individuals share their life, and then we share that with the rest of the world. It's broadcast, throughout the whole world, actually, in over 130 countries, I believe, and it's continually growing. So that's the really nice part.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, speaking of that globalness, of the reach of Special Chronicles, talk a little bit about the global impact that Special Chronicles has on over 41,000 views, which is over hundreds of thousands of people. That global impact.
Well, I think the main impact of Special Chronicles is to be able to give some dignity to people with special needs and let them talk about what's important and not in their life. And it's amazing when you listen to somebody that is able to talk about the challenges that they have, and it's in an environment that they feel like the world listens and cares. There's a lot of personal pride in that. And I've seen some of the people that Daniel's interviewed, and you can see it on their face that they feel like, hey, the world is listening to them and actually cares about what they're saying. And that's the important message. Hopefully we can make a difference in the lives of these people. Because if they have the confidence, they can go conquer anything in the world. And if people listen to their confidence, they'll also get more respect for anybody with special needs.
Yeah, absolutely. So, switching gears now to something new that that mission-wise is kind of the same as Special Chronicles, but something new this week that personally I opened this week was my own Dreamo's coffee stove. So share some of your thoughts about on Dreamo's coffee and beginning this new job, beginning this new
and the companies that sponsor him, and that will allow us and Daniels to be able to keep on helping more individuals. You know, but they aren't the only ones. You look around us today, and people get excluded for a whole variety of reasons. All of them wrong, in my opinion, because if we include everybody and work together, miracles can happen and beautiful things materialize, and people are happier, and we make a difference in the world. Yeah. That's what inclusion is all about.
So, share some of your final thoughts on the overall Special Chronicles appearance, on the overall Special Chronicles experience when we have guests who come on our shows, when we have volunteer producers to help us out, when we have volunteer contributors, white stories for us, with all that experience. What's the overall?
Well, I think that there's so much good in that. It's almost hard to put into just a few words. But I think Special Chronicles creates a lot of excitement because we are making a positive difference. We're helping people. We're helping society. We're helping our world. And that generates a lot of positive enthusiasm from so many people, not just the people that we interview, but everybody around us. And that's probably one of the strongest points, one of the many strong points of Special Chronicles, is we create a lot of enthusiasm with a lot of people from what we do.
So this year is 9 years of Special Chronicles. Next year in 2018, we'll be celebrating our 10-year anniversary. So hopefully we can have some type of meet-up or conference or some type of celebration next year. But as we talk about, and this is not something we'll be talking about as a board of directors as well, more later this year, I think. But the future of Special Chronicles, beginning next year in 2018, after our 10-year anniversary next year, what do you see as the future of Special Chronicles, be it, guests and other volunteer producers and volunteer contributors, and as we look to the future of Special Chronicles?
Well, I think the future is something that we'll create. We take what we've learned the last 9 years and we figure out how to grow and make it better. Like anything, a nonprofit that creates a value in society is a business, and that's what Special Chronicles is. We try to, in addition to the good value that Daniel produces, we also try to treat this as a business and have a plan and a strategy of how do we get to the next step. What else can we do that's going to help more people? And then how do we finance it, of course? Because everything costs money. This podcast with the technology and the equipment he has costs money. To share it among thousands of people all around the world costs money. So we want to make sure that we can keep doing that. And that's what a good business plan does. And we're fortunate enough to have some awesome board of directors and which will working on that side. with the ultimate goal of growing Special Chronicles and helping more people. And we want to keep doing that and find good, solid ways where we can, where Daniel can help more people in the world for a long time.
So if our listeners want to share your feedback and join in the conversation about anything that we talked about or my dad's story on the show, you can email us feedback@specialchronicles.com, feedback@specialchronicles.com. Or if you want to sponsor, you can email Adam@specialchronicles.com, right? If they want to sponsor.
Sure.
Adam@specialchronicles.com, or on at Special Chronicles on Facebook, or at Special C Podcast on Instagram or Twitter, and you can join in the conversation. And we have been broadcasting live from Parkway, Illinois, as we're sitting on a park bench, and with some people have walked by, some dogs have walked by, people have walked by, but it's actually cooling down. So it's podcasting at 7:00 on a June Sunday early evening is probably a better time than in the middle of the afternoon, right?
Yes.
So we'll have to have you back on the show, right?
Thank you, Daniel. Keep up the good work, and I'm proud of you. I'm proud to be your dad. Take care.
Thanks, and keep stay tuned. We have tons more content for you guys coming in the coming weeks and coming months. And until then, take care and God bless.
Everybody is an important person in this world, and God put us down on this world for a reason, and we need to learn, listen, understand everybody, and then respect them. So I think that having a child with learning disability helped me understand that so much better.
Thanks for coming on the podcast.
You're welcome, Daniel.
A child arrived just the other day. He came to the world in the usual way, but there were planes to catch and bills to pay. He learned to walk while I was away, and he was talking before I knew it. And as he grew, he'd say, "I'm gonna be like you, Dad. You know I'm gonna be like you." And the cats in the cradle and the silver spoon, little boy blue and the man on the moon. When you're coming home, Dad, I don't know when, but we'll get together then. You know we'll have a good time then. My son turned 10 just the other day. He said, "Thanks for the ball, Dad. Come on, let's play. Can you teach me to throw?" I said, "Not today. I got a lot to do." He said, "That's okay." And he walked away, but his smile never did. He said, "I'm gonna be like him. Yeah, you know I'm gonna be."
Special Chronicles Podcast, a conversation with my dad. I hope that you all enjoyed that. It was just such a fascinating time just to kind of that was recorded originally recorded a few years ago, probably back in 2018, and so it was just kind of fascinating to hear my dad's perspective of raising me, a person with disabilities and a person with special needs, and how I've not taking the challenge, but I've taken my challenge and developed my strengths and used that to create this powerful platform that is specialchronicles.com, and this groundbreaking podcast. It's just I'm so grateful. I know my dad is in the other room of the studio, and I'm just I'm sure he'll listen to this or listen to bits and pieces of it. But I'm just want to just share in the last few moments of this rebroadcasted episode that I am just so grateful for my dad's support. And I know a lot of times when you have a family business, it sometimes can be challenging of the back and forth, but I'm just so grateful that for my dad's support to always like you hear at the end of each episode, my dad encourages to never give up, and I'm so grateful, and hopefully you guys all learned a little bit of something of my dad's perspective of raising me with special needs from the early challenges, and then get involved in the Special Olympics movement to creating Special Chronicles. I really hope that you enjoyed. You can go to specialchronicles.com/contact and drop us a message if you would like to support this work. We really could use your support. Again, you can go on to specialchronicles.com/give. That's specialchronicles.com/give, and help us operate our studio, continue our mission, respect, and voice people with disabilities. We have some exciting content for you guys coming up later this year that we are just so excited about. We just had a meeting earlier this afternoon, this morning, and I can't wait to talk about it right now. But I can just say, I'm just so excited. Between that and then some other content we have coming up, and I'm going on a 2-day trip next week, and to record some more content that will be coming, and we've got some other productions that will in the process of trying to, but it's exciting. I'm so excited to continue this mission. Please go to specialchronicles.com/give, and monthly one-time donation, any amount can help. And our website team is currently helping us with our Special Chronicles Plus, but we invite you to access Special Chronicles Plus. Hopefully within the next month, this will be live. But it's our behind-the-scenes podcast, have bonus content to help, where you can help. Also to help support the show. specialchronicles.com/plus, specialchronicles.com/plus, if you want to kind of get that fourth wall of the studio dropped and kind of hear what it's like behind the scenes before we actually record these episodes with our guests. With that, I also want to kind of mention to you our merch show. We've got our Disabled Voices Matter line of merch, specialchronicles.com/shop. Got t-shirts, hoodies, coffee mugs. 60% of the profits go back to support Special Chronicles. And I should briefly mention also that thanks to our partners, such as the ComEd Energy Force Ambassador Program, the country's first energy efficiency education program designed for taught by people with disabilities. Learn more at specialchronicles.com/ComEd. That's specialchronicles.com/ComEd. And finally, support for Special Chronicles comes from United Airlines Bridge Disability Business Resource Group, connecting people of all abilities. You can learn more on United's commitment to disability inclusion for employment and travel at specialchronicles.com/United. Specialchronicles.com/United. And I think, if you want to be updated and you never want to miss a new episode or listen to the past episodes, tap that follow button. I'll go ahead and wait for you. Go ahead and tap that follow button on specialchronicles.com. Click on listen, and then you can click and listen to Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, all those places. And specialchronicles.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Find links to follow us on social media and all our various areas. And I look forward to continuing. I know it's a lot of work, but hopefully this is gratifying for all of you listening in. And with that, we'll be back next week with some more content in next month. And I look forward to you guys. Hopefully, guys, we're in a heat wave in the Chicago area right now, but wherever you're listening from, if there is a lot of heat, 90, almost 100-degree weather, you guys will stay cool and safe and this summer. And until then, have a great week. Remember, choose to include, and I'll talk to you next week while you're on specialchronicles.com.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Special Chronicles Podcast.
Our podcast was produced by Daniel Smrokowski on the Special Chronicles Network. Follow Special Chronicles on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Subscribe, rate, and review Special Chronicles on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Our website, specialchronicles.com, where you can stream our archives of over 500 episodes absolutely for free. Also, there's a list of our favorites, original series, award-winning columns, and blogs. And sign up for our newsletter to receive exclusive bonus content delivered to your inbox. Again, specialchronicles.com. Special Chronicles is hosted by Podbean Podcast Hosting. Our live streams are powered by StreamYard. Thanks, as always, to our business manager, Adam Smrokowski, who always encourages us to never give up. I'm Daniel Smrokowski, back next week with more stories.
Special Chronicles, giving respect and a voice to people with special needs.